Today I'm reviewing The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Stiefvater by Maggie Stiefvater. So this book was okay. I'd give it, say, 3 stars. It was, parts of it were really good, and the writing was really good. Parts of it were just a bit kind of meh. The plot is complicated. It's a contemporary fantasy book. It's set in the modern day, so it's kind of about 2 people. There's Blue and Gansey. Blue is a teenage girl. All of her family are fortune tellers and psychics, but she's not. She just has the power to make it easier for other psychics to read the future. She says it's a bit like she makes it louder for them. The other thing about her is that her future, whenever anyone tries to read it, the only thing they can find out is that she's destined to kill the person who her first love, which is just a bit weird, really, isn't it? The other main character is Gansey, a very rich schoolboy who is spending his spare time trying to find... Now, this is one of the bits that gets me, so I'll just say it bluntly now. He's trying to find the tomb of a long-dead Welsh king. And he's got several friends helping him. Anyway, Blue and Gansey kind of interact, and they end up trying to find this tomb of this Welsh king by looking at ley lines. Lines of magical energy that traverse the globe, apparently. So the magical aspects of it, they're okay. Okay, I'm gonna focus on what's good. The characterization is really, really good. There's several main characters who are all very well described, very well actualized, very realistic. They all have their own drives and ambitions and emotions. Very well formed individual characters. I really enjoy the characterization. Even if it's not from people's points of view, you can still get a sense of what they're feeling, what their personality is like, how they impact on others. So the characterization is fantastic. The writing style is also very, very good. It's very easy to read. Really nice metaphor, very good use of language. Good writing, really good writing. And the plot. The plot intertwines really intricately, really nicely, and it all weaves together really well. And there's a couple of surprises, a couple of twists, which I didn't see coming, even though I should, really, because there's one in particular which you're like, oh yeah, remember that. So here's my problem, okay? All of the Welsh stuff is just really weird. I'm Welsh, okay? For a start, they're looking for a Welsh king. We didn't have kings, we have princes, and I know people might think a prince becomes a king, but no, they were just princes, they weren't kings. And that shouldn't have annoyed me as much as it did, but it does. It really does. It's a very obvious thing. I think it may be because Gansey, the character, is so overwhelmed by this story and the romanticism of it. He so desperately believes in all of these myths and legends and things that he's prepared to believe anything, and therefore he is going to be wrong about stuff. At the same time, it was annoying. So the Welsh king that he's looking for, Owen Glyndŵr, kind of died/disappeared. In the book, they believe he was taken over to America. I don't know why. They say it was probably because he had lots of enemies, and if his body was found, it would be desecrated. But come on! The 15th century Welsh people would not have travelled across the Atlantic Ocean, found America before many other people had found America from Europe. Not even at the coast, but made their way inland to the middle of Virginia, and then buried their now presumably quite heavily dead king. That's really stupid. It's a really stupid thing. I feel really bad. It's an okay book, but that thing was just what? So they're looking for this dead Welsh king in Virginia, in the mountains, so far away from Wales, and they're well, it's on the same ley line as one that's in Wales, and you're come on. Really, if they were looking in Wales, that would make a lot more sense, but they're looking in America. I didn't buy into that at all. No matter what explanations there were, I was just no, wouldn't have happened. The idea that we would have sailed to America when we didn't really have proper boats. The Welsh were very underfunded at this point. They wouldn't have made a really big boat that could travel across the ocean. They could barely make boats that travelled across the Bristol Channel. Also, they keep on calling him the Raven King. I've never, I'm not really hugely up on Welsh myths, but I'm pretty sure he's never been called that. And he's not a king, barely a prince, really. But there was just a couple of things like that annoyed me. So even though the book was quite well written, that kind of bit of it was just, I couldn't buy into that. My disbelief was not suspended. If you're into contemporary fantasy, I think it's actually a really good book. The romantic aspects are very well established. The mythological and fantastical elements are quite well written. They're not just like, ooh, magic. There's a sort of logic behind it. But it's still really weird. I mean, I'm touched and happy that the idea of Welsh myth has travelled across the ocean. I just don't believe that Owen Glyndwr did. I enjoyed most of the book. There were just a few things which made it a bit ridiculous, but I think that's probably more from a personal point of view. A lot of people reading it wouldn't be so, Wales! So they'd probably enjoy it. So that's The Raven Boys, really short review. I think it's the first of a series or a trilogy because the ending comes really abruptly, and that was another thing that annoyed me. It was building up really nicely, there was good pacing throughout, and at the end they were like, oh, there we go. But they hadn't fulfilled the entire storyline, so I was like, they need to finish this story. They were leading to things that haven't happened yet. If you've read it, please let me know. If you liked it, please let me know in the comments what made it good for you, what made it special for you. Yeah, and thank you very much for watching.